Okay, I am here today doing another tier ranking video of songs on an album, and today's album is Vows by Kimbra. One of my favorite albums, came out about 10 years ago. This is definitely my favorite album of hers, one of my favorite debut albums ever. My ranking system, basically we have Masterpiece at the top, and this is like reserved for songs that I think are really just special. Like a song where I feel like everything just came together perfectly. There was no idea that didn't work. It's in its own league, you know? Below that is Fantastic, and Fantastic is basically just similar to a Masterpiece. Everything came together really, really well, and it's just, there's nothing I don't like about the song, but it doesn't have that special kind of transcendent quality of like, oh my God, like how did they even come up with this? Great song that I think is great. Good song that I think is good. Okay, song that I think is okay. Nah is just like, I don't personally like the song, but I see the appeal. I get it if you like it. I get why one would like it, but it's just not my thing. Oh God is, I don't understand why anybody would like this song. I hate it, you hate it, it's just a bad song. So okay, we're gonna start out Settle Down. If you've seen my videos, I made a video literally called Why Kimbra's Settle Down is a Masterpiece. It's so good, it's insane. There's so many things that happen that are mind-blowing to me. Just so many choices she makes with where the song goes. Points where it's like, she leaves you hanging a bit, and you're like, okay, where are you gonna take the song next? Like, what's about to happen? And she always takes it somewhere that's really interesting, really weird and quirky, but also just gorgeous, groovy, fun, energetic, just, oh my God, there's so much that's just so distinctly her. Like, nobody else could make that song. Can a song be a magnum opus? I don't know. If it can, then this is her magnum opus. Something in the Way You Are. Oh yeah, I should mention, this track list I'm doing here, this is the US and I think Europe release. This is not the original track list. Main reason for that, there's two reasons. One reason is this is the track list I'm familiar with, like this is the album that I always heard. Second reason is this one has the live version of Plain Gold Ring instead of the recorded version, which in my opinion is a very good thing. But anyway, I thought of that because I think on the original track listing, Something in the Way You Are, I don't think is on that. I think this is a great second song for this album. It's a great way to follow Settle Down, because Settle Down is this grand, incredible masterpiece of a song, and I think Something in the Way You Are, it's a little bit more subtle, it's a little bit more quiet, and I don't know if chill's the right word, but it's not as grand and bombastic as Settle Down is, but it still has that really creative, interesting quality. I love the intro. I don't know what those sounds are that are, you have those drums that are do 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 do, and then these weird, why do I want to say twinkling? I feel like that's the word that's coming to mind. Twinkling sounds that are kind of sparkling around. I have no idea. I'm so bad with words, but you know what I'm talking about if you've heard this song. Her vocals here, they're for the most part incredible. She goes on these crazy runs and is really belting these high notes and just, God, she's a powerhouse, dude. But in the bridge, it feels a little bit like she ran out of gas. It's only you and I, that thing. It feels a little shaky to me. And that's me being super nitpicky, and you know, I apologize for that. If we're ranking these songs, like I've got to really like get down to just how I feel about it, and I really, really like this song, but that bridge kind of gets at me a little bit. Other than that though, the song's really, really good. I'm gonna say that it's great, in fact. Next up is Cameo Lover. Everything works about this song. There's just not a dull moment here. It just feels like she consistently knew where to take the song. There's just always an energy. It's always fun and upbeat and exciting. And there's so much here. There's different eras of music. I hear a lot of 50s pop in here. I hear some 60s pop, even some 70s, and even a little bit of 80s, to be honest with you. And it all comes together. It's all combined into this nice package that sounds distinctly modern and distinctly Kimbra. It's weird because describing it, I feel like I should put it in Masterpiece, but it's just not, you know? I think with Settle Down, she had a fantastic idea for a song and then fully fleshed it out. And I think with Cameo Lover, she had a good idea for a song and fully fleshed it out. If that makes any sense, I don't know if it does, but whatever. I'm putting it in fantastic. Definitely no lower than that. Next up is Two-Way Street. Just everything about it is so unique. I think with Kimbra, all of her songs have a very distinctive intros, you know? They all start off and you're like, oh yeah, it's that song. Like right away, you're like, oh yeah, I recognize this song. I like that it's hard to find the downbeat at first. When you're listening just in that first verse, it's hard to follow the rhythm. But then she brings it there and she kind of guides us to it, and then it really hits that downbeat into the chorus, and the chorus is so gorgeous. The chord progression is so nice. The melody she picks for the vocals, really, really satisfying. I love the strings that come in kind of mirroring the vocal melody on the hook. When I was kind of thinking about where I would rank these songs at first, I kind of thought Two-Way Street, probably gonna go in good or great. Really, the more I've thought about it, like, it's such a gorgeous track, and it's really special, I think, and the sound of it all is just so different, you know? What other songs are like this? I'm not gonna put it in masterpiece, but I am gonna put it in fantastic. Old Flame, there's nothing bad about this song, right? There's nothing I can say where like, oh yeah, that, you know, based on my objective criteria for music, which is entirely subjective because it's music, it's not good. There's nothing like that with this song. Like, it's good in every way, but it just doesn't grab me. I don't know. The melodies just aren't really, they don't fit my taste in melody. Whereas the first 4 tracks totally do. I mean, everything she's doing in those first 4, it's like great melody after great melody that just fits my personal taste in music. That just doesn't happen as much with Old Flame. Also, I guess it's not the most exciting song, but yeah, again, like, I don't know if that's a bad thing. I don't know if I'm gonna have to knock it for that. I like this song. I think it's good, but it doesn't grab me nearly in the same way that the first 4 songs do. I'm gonna put it in good though. I'm not gonna put it any lower than that. Next up is Good Intent. Now, up to this point in the album, I feel like a lot of the time, Kimbra has just been so good at taking old sounds, kind of throwbacky things, like I was saying with Cameo Lover, there's so many different eras of music there, and then combine it with something that feels very modern and distinctly Kimbra sounding. This song to me, Good Intent, feels like it could just totally fit in the 50s, you know? I'm not sure there's as much of that distinctive Kimbra, distinctive modern sound there. It's kind of just throwback. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but a lot of what makes her interesting to me is how she brings that old stuff into the modern world, and that's just not happening as much in this song as it is with the others. I do have to knock it for that, I'm sorry. But at the same time, if I heard this and like the recording quality was a little bit crappier, it was a different, less distinctive singer, and I just didn't know the song, and you told me, hey, this is a song from the 50s, I would be like, damn, that's a good song. I like it a lot, you know? I can't say that it's not a good song. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do, yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Okay. Next up is Plain Gold Ring, the live version. I think I've only listened to the recorded version like once or twice, so I'm not actually super familiar with it, but I do very clearly remember not thinking it was all that, because I'd already heard the live version, and the live version is incredible. Oh my God. Her singing on this, like, blows my mind. I don't know if you know the Stevie Wonder song, Summer Soft. He does this thing where at the end he keeps going through key change after key change, moving the chorus up and up and up, and it's like, can he go higher? Can he go higher? And he just keeps going higher and higher, and you're like, no way, he can't go higher than that, but he just does. The bridge on this song, I guess, is it the bridge? Just the ending part where she's doing that, oh, whoa, 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 you know, going higher and higher. It's like that. It's like, she can't go higher than that. Like, she's not gonna go all the way up there, but she does. It just sounds so large. She kind of moves away from the mic, you can tell. I think a lot of reverb gets added to the vocal, and oh God, it's just so huge sounding. It's amazing. And then she goes even higher. It's doing this like, like this crazy little scatting thing. You can feel the energy of that performance, even just listening to the recording of that performance. You know, you didn't have to be there. So I'm gonna put this up in fantastic also, because Come Into My Head. Does Come Into My Head fit with this album sonically? No. But is it a really enjoyable song? Yeah, it is. She recognized, like, okay, this is a song where I can really just be weird and go off with how I sing this. You know, I can put a lot of personality into this. She saw that opportunity, and damn did she take it. I love her singing on this song. Her performance here is just so dynamic and interesting. I'm gonna put it in great. It's great. It's a great song. Yeah, that works. Sally, I Can See You. Same thing with Old Flame. It just doesn't quite grab me. It doesn't feel exciting. It doesn't feel, I don't feel that creative energy emanating off of it like I do with so many songs on this album. When I'm talking about these songs, there's a lot of songs where I feel like, oh yeah, I know exactly what I'm gonna say about this. Like, there's a lot to say here. With this song, not really, you know? I'm gonna put it in good though. Because again, nothing bad to say about it. It's just like my own personal taste, my own personal desires with music aren't quite met with this song nearly as much as like these top 4 songs. Posse, nice groove here, nice hook. It's different from the rest of the songs on the album, but not like in the same way that Come Into My Head is, where it's just like, well, this just is a total detour, just like suddenly we're doing something different. This feels like, okay, she's taking her sound and she's moving it to a different place a little bit, not just doing a completely different thing suddenly. This is weird because I don't feel like it belongs in great. Like, I feel like it belongs in good, but also I don't know if it belongs on the same rank as Sally, I Can See You and Old Flame, but I don't want to put those in okay, you know? So I might have to do the thing where like within each tier you kind of rank them a little bit. So I'll put Posse as the best of the good. That seems about right to me. Cameo above Two-Way Street, above Plain Gold Rain. Yeah, sure, that's fine. Okay, next up is Home. This calls back to what I was saying earlier about how each song has its own distinctive intro where you immediately recognize it. And I think this is a really good song also. It has a finale sound to it, you know? Like this was meant to be the last song on the album in a way. It's big, it's so grand and epic sounding. It just feels like the end of the album. And I'm a sucker for songs that pull that off well. I think I want to put this in great. It's not quite fantastic. Ooh, am I gonna put it at the top of great? Yeah, do I like it better than Something in the Way You Are? In the context of the album, yes. Listening to that whole album and then reaching that song, it's a satisfying moment. And that actually, thinking about it that way, which I should be thinking about it that way because I'm thinking about this whole album, it almost goes into fantastic for me. But I think at this point, I'm gonna put it at top of great. In the context of the album, I think it just really, really works. After Home is the build up. To me, it just feels like it's either an interlude or an outro track. And I guess it kind of serves as an outro track. It's sort of the last song. It's not very song-y, you know? There's not that clear structure to it. There's not like a clear rhythm to it. And I think it does spice up the album, but I think it's too long. And I'm probably gonna get some hate for that. There are people who probably like this more than anything else on the album, I'm sure. I mean, it's a really interesting track, but I kind of feel like after that first, if you could call it a chorus, where she talks about, I wanted love but not the build up, and then it has that really shocking, really gorgeous string chord that comes in that's super unexpected. If it had ended after that the first time, that would have been the place where I would have liked it to end, because it kind of just keeps going after that and sort of does the same thing again. To me, there's not enough to grab onto to justify making it that long. It just feels like an extended interlude or an extended outro track. Maybe I just have a short attention span, but I'm gonna put it in good. I'll put it above Old Flame. Okay, and now we've got the bonus track. I don't actually know if it's officially a bonus track. You know how sometimes something just feels like a bonus track? I think a big part of that is this song doesn't fit in with the rest of the album. It's featuring 2 other artists. This just feels like a collaborative project that turned into a single that they just threw on at the end of the album. I have it here because it's on the official track listing, but to me the album ends after the build-up, you know? I actually like it a lot. I think it's really good. It's weird because do I want to rank it like I've been ranking these other songs in the context of the album, or do I want to just treat it like it is, as not really part of the album? It's a bonus thing. It's just, hey, we threw this on also. I think if I'm treating it just as a song, it's probably great or maybe good, but in the context of the album, like if this was, you know, track 4 or something, like clearly like this is meant to be part of the album, I think I probably would have ranked it okay or maybe good. So common denominator there is good. We're gonna put it at the bottom of good. So I guess that would mean I'm saying it's the worst song on this album. Yeah, I feel okay with that. I think that makes sense to say. But yeah, I think I'm pretty solid with this tier list here. Guess that's all I'm gonna say, so thank you for watching. Like this video if you want to do that. Let me know if you want to see more album song ranking tier lists. I'm probably gonna do them whether or not people watch them because I like doing these videos. They're pretty fun. And that's about it, so I will see you when I see you.
Find another flame.